Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Step Chat. For those of you that I've not had the pleasure yet of meeting, my name is Steve Jones. I am the executive director of Float. I am also the executive producer of the Aloft streaming service, of 1 Million Bubbles project, of Fulcrum, and a couple other projects that some know about and some don't. And very glad to have you here joining me tonight in our corner of the Floativerse as we get serious and start talking about Reno. We have some stuff to go over tonight regarding the convention. So let's get right to the juice. And tonight, I am thrilled to share with everybody that the sponsor packet finally went out. So it went out on Thursday. It also went out very late on Thursday. It went out like 2:00 my time, which is 5 p.m. Eastern time, which dramatically adjusted the schedule and what I was going to do with it. So as a friendly reminder to all of our sponsors and all of our vendors and all of our potential sponsors that are watching tonight, I do want to reiterate that the sponsor websites for the different opportunities available at Float will reopen tomorrow at noon. I'm going to expand on this here in a little bit because if you'll notice, I said sponsor websites, plural. We need to address that here shortly. So let me get through what I got to get through, and then we'll fill it in here at the end. But for those of you that are watching, I do want to share with some of you, I do want to go over some of the big sponsorships that are open for grabs tomorrow. We talked about the different events and functions that take place at Float, and that's a big thing. All of these different events have different sponsorship levels. So let's start off with the Friday Night Fun. This is the new casual event that's starting out at Float, or that we started last year. This is basically about 100 to 150 people will be attending this one. With the Friday Night Fun event, it's a very casual function. It's not really super high end. However, there will be balloon decor available as a sponsorship here. There'll be a Shine product sponsorship, inflation equipment sponsorship for those that want to get ready for, help us get ready for the event. We do have brand new this year. We have lighted marquee sponsorships and mosaic decor sponsorships because there are now multiple companies making or offering mosaic designs. And a brand new one too, prop elements. We've been getting some interest this year from folks who provide non-balloon related decor. So those are all available, part of the Friday Night Fun event, which will be taking place on Friday, January 23rd from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Followed up, of course, Club Latex Karaoke and Dance Party coming back to Float again, Saturday, January 24th from 8 p.m. to midnight. I do want to stress that this year we are going to be enforcing a specific policy. We will be hosting from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. will be family-friendly performances. And then from 10 p.m. to midnight will be all bets are off. With regard to Club Latex, there are lots of sponsorship opportunities. As typical with the event decor, there is the stage decor, entrance decor, and room accent decor. Once again, Shine product, inflation equipment, lighted marquee, and mosaic sponsors for this, as well as prop elements. And this time around, we are also looking for someone to sponsor the karaoke host. Float's opening night, Sunday, January 25th. Very excited about this. We have contracted once again the lovely and talented Mia Asano, who will be returning to Float regardless of the circumstances. We're very excited about that. And we want to share with you the opportunities that are available for opening night. Opening night, folks, we got stage decor once again. Entrance decor. In this case, the entrance decor is limited to outside the room. Room access decor or room accent decor, once again, same as before. Again, Shine product sponsorship, inflation equipment sponsorship, the lighted marquee, the mosaic decor sponsorships, the prop elements, and there are some different things available for this one. Once we are now offering an event program sponsorship. We have always wanted to hand out a program to everybody as they come in. And so this year we thought, you know what the hell, let's throw it out there and see what happens. Also, Mia Asano's performance. Mia will be performing at Float from 7:30 to 8 o'clock. That's why the event starts at 7:30 this year. We are last year she was the warm-up kind of before, and so many people were so mad that they missed the performance. So this year her performance is on the official schedule as 7:30 to 10 p.m. And of course, because we are doing the fashion show at opening night, we are still absolutely looking for sponsored talent to make dresses for the show. So this is kind of new this year. We have decided to rebrand the Monday night event at this point as the Monday Soiree. This is scheduled for Monday, January 26th at 8 p.m. to 12 midnight. This will be, at least for now, scheduled to take place in the Club Lex nightclub. There is the possibility that that space will be demolished as part of the new construction and renovation by the time we get there. So we may have to reroute this space. Sponsorships available for this. Room decor. You'll notice that now that is referring to balloons. The reason I am saying room decor is because we are slated to be in the nightclub, there is no room for a stage in the nightclub. Traditionally, the DJ is up in a booth and that's it. The entrance decor, however, is a different element entirely. The entrance is actually off to the side, and there's an actual walkway that leads into the room. And then once again, shine product, inflation equipment, lighted marquee, mosaic decor, and prop elements are all eligible to be sponsored. In addition to that, we need a DJ. The next social function is, of course, the Final Night Gala, the Designer Awards Gala on Wednesday, January 28th. And this year it's called Spread Your Wings, a beautifully loving tribute to our friend Tommy De Lorenzo, who passed away last year. Join us for a night of celebration and remembrance. The various elements that are up for sponsorship at the Final Night Gala. This year, the orange carpet is still to be sponsored, so that will be is open and available for sponsorship. I will get back to the balloon decorations in just a moment, but of course, once again, we have shine product, inflation equipment, lighted marquee, mosaic decor, the prop elements, again with the event program, disc jockey, and photo booth this time. We are looking for a photo booth sponsor as well. Now, here's the thing. We'll come back to this. Stage decor, entrance decor, room accent decor, and table centerpieces. All four of these sponsorships come with a caveat. Our friends at Balloons by Tommy, when I reached out to them to get their permission to do this, they agreed under one condition, and that condition is that they get to design the decor. So if you are sponsoring stage decor, entrance decor, room accent decor, or table center pieces, please understand that your designers have already been chosen. Of course, decor at the social events is not the only thing that's up for grabs. Competitions that float are also up for sponsorship. Of course, we have the 5 primary competitions as part of Designer of the Year. That is the sculpture design, entrance decor, column design, organic decor, and table centerpiece live competitions. However, please note that the entrance decor, column design, and organic decor sponsorships are already gone. Those are gone because they were part of the Island sponsorship package that went out with the vendor showcase stuff a long time ago. In addition to that, we also have some deadline competitions. The hanging decor, mosaic design, delivery piece, table centerpiece. These are all previously established competitions. Keep in mind, however, the hanging decor sponsorship, for example, the mosaic design sponsorship previously, those were not part of Float's regular competition series. They were sponsored. A sponsor stepped up and said, hey, I'd be willing to do this. Can we talk about it? Which is why we also have the create your own competition category there. In other words, if we don't get a sponsor for hanging decor, if we don't get a sponsor for mosaic design, we may not necessarily host it. Okay, so these are things that need to be kept in mind. And then, of course, too, this year for the first time, a company can actually sponsor the Designer of the Year award. What that would mean is that you and your company's representatives would actually, not only would your logo be associated with the series, you'd be on all the different competition things and everything else, You would also get stage time at final night to present the winner of the float designer of the year. So added stage time and everything else. Like I said, your logo will go on the trophy. So it's all over the place there. So it's nice little legacy marketing, so to speak. For the first time this year, we are allowing sponsors at all 33 of our Floaty Awards. Every single one of them. And remember, this year we added a new one. We added distortion technique as one of our floaties. So there are now 33 categories. But at the same time, if a sponsor wants to, if they want to create their own category, they can do so. Anybody can create their own category as long as it's not currently covered in an existing category. For the first time this year, Float will be offering a jam room. There will be 10 vendor tables in the jam room. So if you want to sponsor balloons for the jam room, or you offer a twister-friendly service, you can get one of the limited 10 tables in the room. The sponsorship price, by the way, is for the entire week. It's for the 4 nights of the jam room. It is not for a night. It is for all 4 nights. You can sponsor featured talent in the jam room. What does that mean? That is not somebody who is teaching a class. What it is you get yourself, let's say you've got a client who's a fairly big name twister, and you're like, man, this dude's amazing. I wish, more people could, learn from this person, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So the idea is you have somebody come to the jam room who's a big name in the twisting world, and they're just going to be there. So the idea behind feature talent is to actually have a spotlighted artist in the room that night that we can promote and advertise, saying, oh, and guess what? Blah, blah, blah is going to be making balloons in the jam room on Monday from 6 to 10. And then, of course, too, you can also sponsor a design contest. We plan on offering design contests every night in the jam room. These are intended to be 15-minute contests. So the idea would be you could sponsor, a sculpture contest. You can sponsor a fast twisting contest. You can sponsor whatever. These contests can all be done. We have a list of ideas that we've come up with that you can work with us on, and you can sponsor one of those as well. So there's that. Adam, is that per night? I'm assuming you're talking about the featured talent. Yes. So the pricing in the packet is for one night. Tabitha Miller, will multiple brands be represented in the jam room? That is the plan. That's why we have 10 tables. Plus, guys, there are so many other sponsorships available. I cannot list them all here tonight. The sponsorships have been divided up into 4 categories: social events, general sponsorships, competitions, and talent. So very quickly, social events are everything we covered tonight. That would be the Friday Night Fun. That would be Club Latex. That would be opening night, the Monday soiree, and the Designer Awards Gala, as well as the jam room. But if you're looking to sponsor one of those functions, you would go to that link. If you're interested in sponsoring any of the competitions that we talked about tonight, the floaties or anything else, you would go to the competition sign-up page, and that's where you would sign up for that. If you are interested in sponsoring talent at Float, if you wanted to bring featured talent in the jam room, if you want to bring a dressmaker for the fashion show, if you want to sponsor, we have 4 masterclass instructors that are still unsponsored at this point. If you have somebody that is coming to Float that you want to put in front of everybody and show them off, you can sponsor a bonus class at Float. You would do that there. Okay. And then finally, basically everything else would fall into general sponsorships. I'm thrilled to share that we have some new vendors coming to Float too. And I apologize in advance because I meant across the board to ask how to pronounce this before I started. So I want to welcome our new friends. I want to say it's Zicali Balloons out of Texas. Brand new distributor coming our way to Float 2026. Our good friends at Rainbow Balloons got around to getting their booth for the vendor showcase. So we're very excited about that as well. As if all this wasn't enough, tomorrow marks 10 days until the expiration of the Float payment plan program. The 6 easy payments starts at, well, it ends July 31st. You must be enrolled in the program before the end of this month in order to take advantage. And again, I do want to remind everybody that the price of this registration system is $795. It is $100 more than the current price of $695. All right, let's talk about Aloft, our live streaming program that we offer with Float. 24-hour a day streaming content, over 150 classes, videos, and yes, podcast episodes that are available for you and all of our members. So yeah, all of our members for like as low as $10 a month get access to all of this content. However, we do have a very important announcement regarding our class with Dawn Gertman coming up later this month. Dawn, unfortunately, has an issue. She picked the date, everything's fine. Then a family situation came up, and now she is unable to teach the class on July 29th. So the class has been rescheduled 1 week later on August 5th. Give it up to Jesse Claro, everybody, who is going to be joining us for our formal August class 2 weeks later after Dawn's class on August 19th. Again, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Time. Getting returns on your reels. Jessie is going to show you all how she actually makes good money with video content. All of our Aloft members will get their invitation on August 18th for the class. If you're not a member, you can join Aloft or you can sign up individually. Now, admittedly, the $25 link is not there yet because I wanted to wait until we get closer to Dawn's class before we put that up on the website. So that is currently not available on the website yet at the Orange Store. Okay. We have a question. Celeste, where can you go to find out what payment information is on file? That would be through your PayPal account. Okay, folks, we've been going a little long, but we knew we would. Let's get to our street level Float content for everybody. I've already started packing for Float. And somebody, Betsy, I think it was, Betsy reached out to me yesterday through a Facebook message and said, I'm so excited. I've already started packing. So I thought to myself, how often do most people really, when it comes to a convention or a balloon related event that you're going out of town for, how often do most people start packing? How early do you start packing? As of earlier today, we had about 45 votes in. The almost half, I follow my methodology. Where they start collecting things weeks before and then finish up with last minute details. There were a couple of you that were brave enough to say that you don't start packing until you're a few hours away. Good for you. I can't do that. I wish I could. And I think a sizable number of people start packing, 24 to 72 hours prior. And that would be the majority of people. That would be the 28 and 22. That would be 50% right there. So yeah, thank you all very much for taking the time to answer the survey. Once again, we do want to remind everybody that Float is on YouTube at youtube.com/@thefloativerse. You do have to put the @ symbol in there with YouTube. So it's youtube.com/@thefloativerse. And so we do ask that if you are on YouTube often enough, if you would follow the channel, if you would subscribe to us, that would certainly help us out. As well as liking, sharing, commenting, all of these things increase our engagement potential. And that would be greatly appreciated from all of you. I also want to remind everybody about the Step Chat schedule. Now, I didn't have time to come up with an entirely new graphic today. So obviously we're doing the live broadcast now. So episode 273 is being broadcast as we speak. Tomorrow, the full episode of this show will be uploaded onto YouTube. In addition to that, the abbreviated sponsor section will be uploaded as well. I'll be prioritizing that. So there'll actually be 2 uploads tomorrow. So I'll get that up and running for everybody. And then on Tuesday, the general summary episode will be uploaded to YouTube as well. So you can watch the abbreviated version. Now, this one will probably be a little bit longer than normal. It'll probably be 20 minutes to 30 minutes as opposed to, the 10 to 15 that it's been lately. Our good friend Lisa McIntyre is back on Tuesday with Kick It Back with Lisa Mack. So we're excited to have her joining us once again. Lisa's show, of course, is the virtual happy hour done through Zoom, where everybody gets on the live call and hangs out with Lisa McIntyre on Tuesday, starting at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's right. Whatever the hell time it is where you are. This Wednesday, you get a double dose of Lisa McIntyre because she and the ladies of Working Wonders will be back for their next show coming up this Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. The ladies of the Working Wonders will be absent one of our regulars, though, this week. The lovely and talented Crystal Rutan will not be joining us on the show this week. But instead, we do have a very special guest filling in for the topic. Before I do that, let me get to this point. The topic of this week's show is about communicating with clients. They're going to talk about the different ways that they communicate with their clients. Well, it just so happens that I know a company that refuses to speak to clients on the phone. Like everything is done online. And that would be Balloons by Tommy, who we've already talked about today on the show. Well, Adriana from Balloons by Tommy will be filling in for Crystal this week so they can talk extensively about how they approach their customer communication process. So we're very excited about that. Looking forward to that. So Adriana is going to fill in for Crystal this Wednesday. And with that being said, that will take us to the end of our slideshow tonight. So there you go. It's a giant commercial. You can buy anything. You're not wrong, Tabitha. See, that's the thing about that. That's what a lot of people, this is the reality of these events. Okay. And I got to be clear about this. For a balloon decorator, float it's educational. It's an educational experience. It's a social experience. It's a networking experience. It's an exposure to new products and new ideas and new everything. And if anything, it can also just be a break from your reality, right? It's all of that and more. But for sponsors and for vendors, float is primarily one thing: an advertising medium, a method of marketing their products to potential buyers. And of course, the potential buyers are the balloon people that attend. And there's not a damn thing wrong with that because, as I've said it before, all of these people need each other. The balloon people need these products and they need the manufacturer support. The manufacturers need customers. And float needs all of you because the only way this event can go on is with this kind of support. And now with our new venue and the new levels of expectations that have been placed on us and the new footprint that we have, my God, it doesn't pay for itself. And so this year we had to make some serious decisions. And again, I have talked about the budget for float. I haven't talked about it here. I don't think I have anyway. I've just said it's a very big number. It's a very big number. And frankly, I should be a lot more nervous about it than I am. Because whatever we don't collect comes out of pocket. Thankfully, float has not lost money for several conventions now. I hope this isn't the first one to do the same. I don't think it will. I think there's a lot of support behind it. But that's just the reality of this. That's the reality of these functions. And now that float has grown to the size that it is, again, the levels of expectations have never been higher. And we are facing some challenges this time around. The new location is challenging for some people. There are people that have absolutely said, Stephen, I'm not coming because I don't want to have to take 2 planes. If that's where you draw the line, I get it. A lot of folks are so used to just driving to the Midwest. And now they have to get on. Now there's some people that are angry that they can't drive anymore. I get it. But I can tell you right now, if we kept this event in the Midwest with the kind of square footage that we need and the space that's required for what we're doing, you'd be looking at a 4-figure registration fee as a starting price. And there's people that would say, well, it's completely worth it. And I do. I get people all the time that tell me flat out. Um, I get people that tell me all the time that that floats people should be paying so much more for float. I get it, but it's a balancing act because should they be? Yeah, absolutely. But every time you raise that price, attendance adjusts. One of the reasons why Float's vendor showcase is so big is because so many people come. And one of the reasons why people come is because the vendor showcase is so big. So we have to find sweet spots. And that's how it does it. That's how we do it. That's how we have to do it. And that's one of the reasons why this year we've literally slapped a price tag on just about everything because we need to make sure that we can afford to run this event. Okay, guys. Well, that's going to do it for tonight's show. Thank you all very much. I greatly appreciate your time and attention once again. Thank you for going through everything with me with the sponsors. Very excited. Tomorrow's a big day. Hopefully next Sunday, I will have lots of things to update you on. Hopefully we'll have lots of sponsorships to talk about and lots of great things to share with you. But until then, stay happy, stay healthy, stay profitable, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.